Hello, 30-day detoxer. Today we're going to be talking about transitioning. And this is a really important topic because as you come towards the end of your 30 days, you have taken out some really big food groups that are food intolerance groups, dairy and gluten. And we're going to talk about introducing them back in, but you don't have to. You can just leave them out of the diet if you feel better without them. But let's talk about what we would do if we do introduce them. You want to do one food group at a time. You don't want to do everything at once. Your poor body will freak out. So if you say, let's say you're going to introduce dairy, you're going to do dairy for about 3 days. And I want you to put it in a kind of a big way. So maybe like yogurt in the morning and some cheese at lunch. And you want to kind of load your body up with some dairy. And then you want to pay attention to what's going on. Because I will tell you this, your body is always talking to you, but are you listening? So it's going to talk loud if it doesn't like the dairy. So what could happen? Well, you might get a migraine, you might get nauseous, you might get constipated, you might get diarrhea. Who knows? It'll talk. It'll let you know, I don't like it. So if that happens, you want to stop the dairy and you want to wait about 4 or 5 days before you try the gluten. You got to let everything calm down. A lot of inflammation happened when all that was going on. Now, if it didn't respond negatively, then you're good. You can have some dairy. I wouldn't recommend doing that much all the time, but if you want to add back in some plain yogurt or cheese occasionally or something like that, that would be great. Now, the same thing with the gluten. If you decide to add in wheat first, if you go out and you start eating rolls and you start eating bread and you start eating all this stuff over a period of a couple days and you start getting some issues like I talked about, then you know your body does not like gluten because you might get really bloated and gassy or something like that. And again, you want to take it back out of the diet for 4 or 5 days, let it all calm down, and then try the dairy. So you're going to do one at a time. Now, a lot of my students go on and say, you know what, I feel so good gluten-free, I'm not going back, or I'm going to do the 80-20 rule. Now, let me tell you about the 80-20 rule because it's fun. This is how I live my life. So most of the time, I'm completely dairy-free, gluten-free. Most of the time, I feel better that way. But I will tell you this, I love pizza. I don't know anybody that doesn't like pizza, but I love pizza. So every once in a while, probably twice a month, I go have my pizza. And it's got dairy and gluten on it, so holy cow. But I can get away with it a little bit. Here's the other rule, 80-20 rule part of that, is that you can have one meal a week that is just your big splurge meal. So let's say you love Mexican food, and Friday night is going to be margaritas and Mexican food. That's part of your 80-20 rule. I really believe in living life and enjoying life. And I tell you, there's nothing better than meals with friends or when you're on vacation. So don't get so strict and so narrow that you can't go to somebody's house and eat. That's crazy. So let's just enjoy life, use your 80-20 rule, and let's transition slowly back in and add some things in and see how you do. All right, talk to you soon.